Well, I can't find this specific thing, but I have a backup, so it'll be fine. Are we ready to begin?
Oh, I'm nervous.
Oh,
I don't know, are you?
No.
Yeah.
Don't call me out like that.
You always got this, Trey.
Oh,
Always.
well, thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
am
Thank
a
you.
master storyteller.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have any problems. I mean, like, my palms are kind of sweating, but it's
Are
not
your
like the
knees
skills
sweet?
I'm worried about. Oh yeah.
Throwing
They're
out mom's
sweaty.
spaghetti. Okay. I have to get through this ad, and then I can. Perfect. Okay. Cool. It's here. Okay. So
Bad.
yeah. Okay. Welcome to Everas Chronicles Awakening. So you all had just been, had gone to bed. You were listening to the sweet song of Ella as she kind of drifted from the attic windows, and you all have drifted off to sleep. When you awake, you find yourself, all of you, find yourself on the front porch step of a large mansion. This mansion is brickwork, 3 stories tall, dilapidated, abandoned. Kind of gives you the vibes of the hotel um, back in Canterbury Bay. But as you're standing in front of this door, you can see a few things. On the right-hand side, there's a small broken end table where there's a small birdcage on the inside of it. There is a window that is all boarded up. The front door is locked. All 6 of you see this room, or all 5 of you see this, and you all know that you're together, but you can't tell if this is a dream or if this is reality. What do you do?
Thal looks for her spoon in her pocket. Is it there?
Nothing of your worldly possessions are on you.
What does the terrain around us look like? Like if we look off the porch.
If you turn around, you literally see a dirt with a dead leaf colored path heading directly into a dark forest where this thick fog and mist surround it.
Oh boy, guys.
We get here.
Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
I pinched Thal.
Ow!
Nothing happens.
Oh, I don't feel it?
I mean, you feel it, but
Okay.
you don't wake up or anything. If you
Okay.
are dreaming.
I'm not dreaming. You guys. Are you in my dream? Is that how this works?
You don't know if you're dreaming or not.
I know. Oh, okay. We just know
This
we're awake.
We just know we're
feels
here.
you're just
Okay.
here. Like that is where your brains are at. You don't know if you've traveled to this house. You don't know if you just woke up to this house. It's almost as if your memory begins right now.
We remember going to sleep at Ella's.
Yes, but that could have been weeks ago, months ago, days ago. You don't remember. Like I said, your memory only begins right now.
How'd we get here?
I have no idea. Is everybody okay?
I feel fine.
I think
Where's
so.
our stuff?
I think I'm fine.
I don't know. I don't have anything of mine.
Well, this
Do I
is a
have my
problem.
Do I have my staff?
Nope. You only have the clothes on your back.
Okay.
Oh.
We've been robbed. We've been robbed and left for dead at a weird house. Right?
Do we go in? Door's
Do any
locked. So
We can knock and see if anybody's home.
do any of you recognize where we are?
Oh. That's not saying much from me, but no.
I don't know of a mansion in the woods. I mean, the only thing comes close is when we visited that castle and Beast and Belle were there, but that seems like forever ago.
And this is not a castle.
No.
Thal will... She'll knock. And be like, alright, I'll knock, you guys. But be prepared to punch something. And she just lightly raps on the door.
There's no answer.
Oh, nobody's home. And she starts walking the other way.
well, maybe we don't go into the foggy
Oh,
forest.
okay.
Yeah.
Did you leave the porch?
Oh,
No, I don't think so. I
When
thought
you said walk the other way, I didn't like just making
she
sure.
like scurried behind, like to the edge again.
Hold on. Let's not. I don't feel good about the woods.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to
Hooch.
walk around and see if there's an open window? Or one
I
that's
was
not
just gonna
boarded
suggest
up?
windows.
Well, this one's boarded up. Can I kind of check the boards, kind of pull on it, investigate, see if there's a way to get in there?
Roll investigation check.
We're off to a great start with a nat 1.
Okay. So it's a boarded up window.
Huh. Well, I don't know, guys. I'm out of ideas.
Does anybody know how to pick locks at all?
I do.
Yeah, I don't
But you
have
don't
any
have
of
your-
my. No, there's nothing.
Is it just
Yeah.
a porch or does it wrap around?
It's a wraparound porch. It's
Oh,
lit.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Dreams.
Elowen goes ahead and she kind of goes to the edge, to the right of the house, still on the porch, and she peers on the corner of the house to see if there's any more windows.
When you step out of that 5 foot by 5 foot square in front of the door, you literally end up on the other side of that square. So it's almost like you're stuck within this 5 foot by 5 foot square. So you walk to the right of it, and then you just end up on the other side.
We see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Wow.
bizarre.
Oh no! I'm
Thal
gonna.
runs and does it a couple times.
Dal, let's just be careful. We don't know what that's.
Meryl's gonna
Time
step off
traveler.
the porch. Just one step onto the gravel that we see.
Sure, absolutely. You find yourself stepping back onto the porch in front of the door. It's almost like a reverse, like Inception moment, like going down, going up.
This is weird, you guys.
Thal's still running. Okay, so that's really cool. Anybody else have a better idea than running back and forth?
Lucan, help! I'm tiny. Help me! And I'm gonna like put my shoulder up and run at the door and see if I can knock it down. It's gonna
Sure.
hurt me, but
Roll a strength check.
strength. I don't think I'm negative in strength, but sorry, guys. It's not good. It's a 9.
Okay. So you run into the door, and 4 small spiders drop from the ceiling,
No.
and they like crawl back up on the wall to like get back up into their in their spots, but they stop. They don't get back up onto the ceiling.
A step away. I don't like spiders.
Thal will go up and be like, Mr. Spiders, how do we get in? As if she could speak to animals.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes.
On that line of thought, though, Thal, we do have someone who can speak to animals or
4.
creatures.
Spiders aren't animals; they're insects.
Bruh.
I got a
Speak
4.
to wildlife.
You got a 4.
Haha.
Okay, as you look at the spiders, something seems off about them. But you can't discern what it is. At least
Makes
with your
sense.
4.
She's like, these things are weird and they have little spindly things on their butts. What are they called?
Webs. They spin webs?
I like your
Spiders?
webs.
And okay, so Lucan's gonna go back over to the window, and like, I know that Bailey pulled on it, but he's gonna try pulling on the boards of the window.
Sure. Can you roll a investigation check first for me?
Oh, yes. Uh, 8.
Okay. So as you start to kind of look at the window that's next to the door, you realize there are 4 bolts that come undone as you try pulling on it, and they all fall to the floor.
So the boards come off.
The boards, weirdly, are still stuck.
Uh, somebody come grab the other side of this, and he's gonna like take one corner.
I'll help.
And somebody, okay, and like
It,
try to
you
pull the.
roll strength.
Both of us?
Just Lucan.
Okay.
Not one.
Oh no!
The boards, I mean, as you're looking at them, you realize that like the bolts are out, but these boards feel they're not even giving way. They're not moving, they're not creaking, they're not moaning. They're literally almost as if they are a permanent attachment to the side of the wall.
Alright, everybody stand back. And I'm gonna fling an Eldritch Blast at it. If I have magic. I'm making the assumption that I do.
You can try. So Meryl gets very like into it, very like, and then nothing. Nothing comes out.
Oh boy, you guys.
We have no magic.
You can't
Nothing.
do it?
No, there's nothing there.
Thal's gonna look back up the spiders, like, spiders, tell us a story. I am very stuck. How do we get into this house? I'm lost.
Roll a perception check again.
Okay, that's better. 20, dirty 20.
Okay, so you notice that some of the spider's legs are missing.
Oh, you hurt. I know.
It doesn't. They don't seem to have been fallen off. It's almost as if these spiders' legs have grown that way.
Oh.
While Thal is looking at the spiders, can I walk over and investigate the birdcage?
Sure, absolutely. Roll investigation.
That's a 15.
Sure. So you look at the birdcage and you see that there's a small little brass lock on it with a 3-digit combination on it. On the inside of the cage, you see 2 other spiders and a glowing purple crystal.
Oh.
Okay. Guys, check this out. What do you think
Okay.
that is?
Spiders.
No, the crystal.
Oh.
Couldn't be one of the totems, could it?
Does it look like the totems?
No, it just looks like a tower crystal, like a clear
Okay.
quartz tower, but purple.
It looks like candy.
I kind of want it.
Oh.
Our history of touching things like this, I don't know if we should all just go grabbing it.
That is fair.
But
What
it's
if we
inside
licked it?
the birdcage, and in order to get it, we'd have to find the combination, it looks like.
A 3-digit combination. How many spiders are there?
There,
2. Right?
you're not allowed to ask me.
I think there are 2 spiders in there.
There were Yes, correct. There are 2 spiders
I don't
in the
remember how
cage.
many came down from when I hit the door, though.
4.
4?
4 did.
4.
Mhm.
So there's
So
6
not
total.
3.
And the 4 on the door are missing legs. Some of them.
Mhm.
Can I count the spiders? Like, how many legs each spider has? Are they all missing the same number, or is it different?
Every spider is different. So, for the first spider, write this down.
Because someone whose nails aren't wet, right?
I am writing this
Yeah,
down.
I'm writing this all.
I am writing this down.
My
There.
whole desk is packed up, so you guys have to carry me on this one.
Got
I
you.
got us, guys. I got us.
There's one with 4, one with 6, one with 7, one with 8 that you can see that are on the wall. But you can't tell exactly how many legs are on the spiders in the birdcage yet.
Okay.
Can Elowen go in closer and try to see, try to look at the spiders, see if she's recognized the kind of spider that they are, and also how many legs they have?
Yeah, can you roll animal handling for me?
Oh, okay. 19 plus 2, 1.
You can tell that these are native spiders to woodlands. These are similar to wolf spiders. That kind of look to them huntsman spiders. That's for your knowledge of that. But as for, you said you wanted to see how many legs and stuff they have as well. Roll investigation.
12.
You can see that the spiders on the inside of the birdcage, one has 5 and one has 3.
Door? I'm gonna look at the door and see if it
Mhm.
has a lock combination too that match with the. It's a door or, like
Yeah.
the cage.
Roll investigation.
Not bad. 19.
So as you examine the door, there's a couple things that stand out to you. The first thing that you see is an emblem on the front door with a large H in the center of it. The second thing you notice below it is a peephole with a knocker that looks like a gargoyle. And the third thing you notice on the door, there is a 4-digit combination.
Hey guys, look at this little the bobber thing. It has those weird letter shapes on it.
So I'm assuming we're all on the same page here. The spiders dictate what the combination is. We just have to figure out what that combination is for said door and birdcage.
With the final word for the birdcage, Joe. Still.
The cage has 3, and there's only two spiders.
Maybe one is missing. I mean,
That could be.
maybe we should look for the other spider.
Thal, look under the table.
You found another spider.
Oh. I
Damn.
found another friend.
Nice job, Val.
Yeah, killing it.
But
Hi, friend.
even with the spiders, though, how will we know what order to put the numbers in the lock? I mean, there could be a lot of combination.
Well, we could just try and see what works.
This spider has only 2 legs.
Yeah. Thanks.
Poor thing.
532. Because she knows what that means.
Well, I can try it.
Might as well.
What number do you put in?
For the
You're putting
first
on a
one?
birdcage, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'll do the 5, the 3, and the 2.
So you intricately put in 532 and pull down on the lock. However, it still stays shut.
Okay, that one's out.
That is thousands of combinations, you guys.
I was gonna say, there's no way that we can do this by trial and error. That's impossible.
2, 5, 3.
You said 253? Oh no.
She's gonna try 2, 5, 3.
You're cutting out, Laura. No.
Yeah.
So there's only 6 for the 3 for the. Well, I only have 6 combinations. It looks like written out that we could get for the cage, which
So pause, Ashley. As Ashley, you're writing these codes down.
yes.
Thal is not writing these codes down. So
Okay.
don't do that.
Damn it! I'm trying to figure out because everyone's like the thousands combinations. There's not. There's 6.
That's a lot, okay.
But with the 4 digits, though, there will be many. There's a lot of combinations that can come from that when you think about the other 4 spiders. There has to be a solution beyond just guessing.
I'm a
Correct.
priest. I'm not a mathematician.
I
All right,
agree.
Lauren, you're back.
Well, how else are we going to guess it? Or try to figure it out? Guessing is the best I could think of.
I mean, yes, I'm not saying don't guess.
What other things have you guys found and I have described that you haven't looked at yet?
Oh man.
I can take a look at the door knocker thing, the gargoyle.
Okay. You approach the door knocker and you see that's intricate kind of design of a gargoyle, and you see that there is a peephole underneath of it where the knocker is.
I'll lift the locker and look inside.
Okay.
See if it works that way.
Sure. When you look inside, normally peepholes work so that if you're in the inside, you can see who's out, and the outside person can't look in. However, you can see in. Inside this manor, you see a foyer. On the far back wall, you see 6 glowing lights, almost as if it's on a candelabra or something like this. Just in the darkness of it all, you can kind of make out some larger figures in the room, furniture possibly, but you can't quite discern what they are. Roll perception for me.
14.
As you look at the candlelights in the distance, you see that 2 on the left side are lower, the one in the middle is high, and the 3 on the right side is lower.
So,
Guys, take a look at this. You can see through the peephole. I can see a candelabra or lights or something, but I don't know if it means anything or not. All the candlesticks are at like different levels.
I'll peek in.
Sure. So you see the same thing that Elowen did. You see 2 lower on the left-hand side, 1 high in the middle, and 3 lower on the right side.
The birdcage only had 3 combinations, right?
Mhm.
I would try 2, 1, 3.
Okay. I can try it. And then
Yeah.
2, 1, 3.
You put it in 2, 1, 3, and the lock pops off,
Woo!
and the
Look at
birdcage
that.
opens. And the
Is it
2 spiders on the inside crawl out of the birdcage and go up on the wall next to the other spiders, leaving the crystal on the inside there.
is there anything else in there or is it just the crystal?
Just the crystal.
who wants to touch that?
Well, maybe not
Yeah.
touch it with my skin. Uh she takes her poncho, like the edges of her poncho, and she goes and grabs it.
Okay.
So she like doesn't touch, her skin doesn't touch it.
Sure. So when you pick up the crystal, it's almost like a torch, where the end of the crystal like glows light. So it's almost like you can see a beam of light glowing from out of the crystal like a flashlight.
Huh, look at that. And she waves it all around the house.
As she's waving it all around the house, you see that when the light goes over the spiders, their fur reveals a letter.
Oh,
Oh,
That.
go back, go back.
Okay. And she goes over one of the spiders.
So one of the spiders that you see there, the one with the 6, is an H.
The next one?
The next one that you see is a 4, and it's the letter A.
And the next one?
The next one that you see is going to be the letter L on the number 8.
There's 3 more spiders.
So for the rest of them, here I can write them out. So 6 is H.
I already did it.
4, I'm just going to write them all out, like
Okay.
all together. 4 is A. 8 is L. E4, 5s. Okay, that should be all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay. If you can. So the one with 6 is the letter H. The one with 4 is the letter A. The one with letter 8 is the letter L. 5 is E. 7 is P. 3 is U. And 2 is R.
1.
what does
Did
it
you
say,
hear
you
me?
guys?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the letter 1? Number 1.
There was only 7 spiders, and there was not just a one-legged spider.
Never mind.
It says how leaper.
Putting them in order doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I'm not good with puzzles, you guys. We do have an extra letter.
The H on the door.
Oh, yeah, that makes 2 H's, though.
Well, what words could we make out of this?
Help. But then there's
Help.
extra letters. Oh, I see ale. Who do we know?
Rar.
Does it spell anyone we know? Or maybe we're looking for?
No?
We don't know what the numbers are for. Why don't we try to figure out the combination lock that's left?
That's a good idea.
Maybe these come in handy later. Maybe we won't know what to do till we get inside.
I think
What?
the combination is something we can figure out before this. So
Well,
What if it's help?
Is the combination lock on the door numbers or letters?
Numbers.
What order are the spiders in on the door? Like, how are they?
They
Like the
all
number.
have just kind of moved around and stuff like that.
They're not
Yeah.
in place. Okay. Well, the spiders that were on the door initially were 4, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna put that in the combination lock.
You try 4, 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
You put in the numbers and you pull down the lock and it does not open.
well, we've used 2, 1, and 3, so maybe we don't need those anymore.
Maybe. I mean, I tried 4, 6, 7, 8. So,
Oh. Oh.
but I like where you're thinking. I
Two.
Thal's going to step on her tippy toes and look through the eye looker too and see if she can find any other weird things.
As you look into the peephole, all you see is black.
Oh, what you guys were saying before, but I just see nothing. You guys are crazy.
maybe the candles burned out. Elowen turns around to see in the forest if any of the trees light up from
you-
her little flashlight.
As you turn around to face the forest, you see that there are black cloak figures hovering
Oh, no.
5 feet above the ground, circling the house. 12 of them,
12 of them.
hooded and staring directly at you guys, just
Oh.
hovering in the
Guys?
mist.
Turn around.
Thal doesn't screams. Falls down.
I
Um,
really wish we were
So Lucan's gonna see them and like, can he turn around real quick and put? Have we tried 4, 5, 6, 8?
You have not tried 4, 5, 6, 8.
He's gonna put that in real quick.
Sure, so you put in 4, 5, 6, 8, and the lock does not unlock.
oh god.
Oh,
I figured, but
try 6, 5, 8, 7.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so Lucan, you
Sorry.
put in 6, 5, 8, 7, and the lock clicks, and a little brass lock or key falls out.
Oh shit.
Thal, how did you know?
What was that?
I am learning how to spell help.
Oh.
Val, you're a genius. Lucan, you should probably open the door.
I'm
I'm
not a
like-
genius, I'm a mermaid.
Okay,
You
so
could be
he's
both.
going to try and open the door with the key.
You put the key into the lock, and it clicks open, and the door opens to reveal a darkened room. Do you all step in?
It's dark in room or creepy figures, guys.
Here,
Okay.
Elowen, he's gonna like open the door and have her go first with the light, and then follow.
Gonna take the crystal, do a quick back and forth, see if there's anything in there.
When you try to shine the light into the black room, the light does not penetrate past the front door.
Oh no.
It's not working. It's not working.
I'm getting very drowning vibes again, you guys.
I do not want
Which way do we go? Figures or dark house? I think dark house.
Dark house seems to be the only way we can actually go. If we leave again, it's probably just going to turn us back around.
Elowen steps in the house.
Okay, so
That'll
Ellen,
fall.
you step in the house first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then followed by Thal, you said?
Yeah.
Okay,
She'll close her eyes and like, okay.
okay. Who's next?
I'll go in next.
Okay.
I'll go in after.
Followed,
Then Lucan will shut the door behind them.
okay, sounds good. So, when you get past the front door, the door closes behind you, and I mean it is pitch black in this room. There's no light source. and in the distance, you hear a female's voice, almost in a soft, low whisper. You open the door. And
Hello?
then you wake up in your beds
Oh,
at Cinderella's chateau.
oh. Meryl sits up and just like rubs her temples for a minute. Prays. Centers herself.
For sure.
Can I roll? Would it be history or insight to see if I know of the female's voice?
I'm not even gonna have you roll because you wouldn't know who this female's
Okay.
voice is. Yes.
Okay.
Is this real?
Something
think-
there's a familiarity to it, for
Okay.
sure. As you all kind of wake up, the storm has passed. The windows are open to kind of let in a summer breeze. You can smell bacon and sausage and eggs and toast drafting from the downstairs kitchen as you hear kind of a little bit of commotion and conversation down below.
What
Well,
was
this
that
feels at
dream?
least a little bit more normal. I have no idea.
Last time with the drowning and now this?
I guess this was a little less violent, so that was nice.
I
Yeah.
mean,
What were those figures, though?
I don't know. And that woman's voice at the end? I feel like we only made it worse. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling.
I don't like it either.
So we open the door. I don't know if that's a good thing. Definitely not.
But we also didn't really have a choice. So whatever it is that's happening here is pushing us in a certain direction to a certain extent. I guess we didn't have to open the door, but it was open the door, sit there, you know?
I don't think it matters. I mean, it was a dream. It's over.
Bailey, as you're starting to come back to yourself, as you kind of wake up, you're usually a little groggy in the morning. You finally realize what the sound of that woman's voice was, and it was Mia.
Like I said, it was just a dream.
Oh, well, should we check on everybody else to make sure they weren't a dream?
I smell bacon. I don't think that's a dream. Meryl's stomach growls.
Pinching didn't help last time, so
Maybe we stop trying that. It doesn't really ever seem to work.
Oh
Sister
boy.
used to do it to me all the time, so I thought it would work, but
you can see what the weather's going to be like today.
Hmm?
Elowen casts Druidcraft just to see if she can do magic, and she wants to do her little weather ball.
Yep. Looks like it is a bright and sunny day on this warm and sunny summer day.
Okay. So, if it's a dream, we can't do magic, and we have nothing with us.
Oh, I like that.
makes sense.
You guys think the H on the door. Who do you think owned that building? You guys have never seen that building before in real life. You don't know where it is.
Mm-mm.
Meryl's going to take
You?
a second to jot down the letters. Not in any particular order, just jot them down so she has them like on her person.
Sure. Roll history.
Oh. Oh no. I've rolled 9 twice. History is 10 total.
Okay. So you definitely remember the numbers and the letters that got you into the house, as well as two of the other numbers, but the last number you can't quite remember. You can remember everyone except for the A.
Except for the A. Okay.
Mhm.
Does anybody know anybody by the letter of H? Any friends? Last names? First names?
Mm-mm.
Everybody that I know back home lives in tents in a forest. So
Same. Or huts, but yeah.
Did you guys hear that voice at the end?
The creepy one? Yeah.
I didn't think it was creepy.
I mean, it was kind of creepy. It was like, you opened the door.
it
Feel
didn't
like
sound
we
like that to me,
should
Thal,
have,
but
I think it was Mia.
What?
No, your girlfriend Mia?
It sounded familiar. I mean, it was a dream, so it's hard to really say, but it just kind of sounded like her.
Is that like her house? At all?
No, that's not her house. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We weren't even awake.
oh,
Oh,
I don't think it's fair to say that it doesn't matter, considering most of the experiences we've had together in a dream place have mattered a lot.
do you remember a while back with Mr. Eliot and that weird elfling? They talked about a hell hall. Do you think that's the place? It had an H.
But
I don't.
I don't think there's enough letters for that.
I mean, H on the door.
I
Maybe.
don't know. I mean,
I am
do you
unable to
remember?
recall this scenarios.
Do you
I don't
remember
remember a hell hall.
said anything about the hall, about the building?
Oh, I've never been anywhere but Canterbury and here in the ocean. So I have no clue. But I just remember him saying that they found a totem at a place called Hell Hall, and there's hellhounds, whatever those are, that attack them. A lot of hell happening. Don't know what hell is, so.
Fire.
Oh, then I don't like it.
Most people do not.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't think so. I didn't see any hounds.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe Belle has read about a place like this.
maybe.
Maybe.
But Cinderella also knows the lay of the land around here. Maybe we can go down to her and, start our day and not necessarily forget it, but move on a little bit.
Yeah.
I think something that we should all keep in mind too is that we're traveling to other worlds, and maybe doing that is like weird and unstable. And when we sleep, because we're not in our world, our consciousness is like projected into adjacent worlds. So maybe it
Right.
isn't a place we've been, but it's a place we might go to. I don't know. I've never heard of stuff like this before.
We're
I
psychic.
also don't know like how real it is, you know? I mean, like you said, maybe it's just projecting. I mean, maybe it wasn't her. Maybe I just want it to be. I don't know.
Why would we hear the same voice though? Not to blow holes in your theory, you
No,
know.
I mean, we're by all means. I mean, we should discuss it. I don't know. I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know.
As you're all talking, you hear Cinderella's voice from downstairs call, "Breakfast is ready!"
I think we're
Well,
being
I
summoned.
think that's our cue.
All right, so as you all start to get up and kind of freshen up and gather your things to start your day, Elowen, you check your poncho pocket and there's something heavy in there. What is it?
She goes and she feels around in her poncho pocket.
And she grasp onto it and pull it out.
Yes.
It's the crystal you had from the dream.
She turns it around and she's like, "What?"
Uh,
How can that be?
I don't know.
Okay, well, now I'm giving that voice a little more credit. Fuck.
maybe she's helping us. Maybe we need that. I mean, I guess, yeah.
Maybe.
Where could that
Maybe.
be?
What if it's a totem and in order to, we have to do right and it'll change shape?
And also ask
Maybe.
Belle if she knows what it is. She's super smart.
Yeah.
I wanna talk to Belle. I wanna find that mansion.
Okay. Elowen will put it back in, actually in her sack, and she puts her sack around her. And she's like, "Let's go downstairs."
Okay. You guys all head downstairs, down to the dining room, where Ella has cooked this beautiful breakfast of pastries and scones and biscuits and just very like grapes and cheeses and orange juice, just anything your hearts can content for breakfast. Just this beautiful display. The white gossamer like curtains that over cover the big floor to ceiling windows in the dining room, she's pulled back and just let that sun kind of cascade in. You see the sun rays and glitz of dust and stuff pull in. It's very warm feeling. And then you realize that Ella, her hair is blonde. It's no longer black. She looks a little bit more clean. There's no more dirt or ash upon her face. Her rags look a little bit more like not necessarily formal, but just a little bit more put together. As she kind of sits down a big pitcher of water um, on the table, and she snaps her fingers, and these little water goblets kind of float out of thin air and set down on a place for you. And she looks over, she goes, "Oh, bonjour. Did you sleep well?"
Yes.
Not
Like that.
well.
"Oh, is everything okay?" And she goes, "Please sit, 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 sit."
Well, since we came to this world, the continent, whatever it's called, we've constantly been having dreams, and not necessarily good ones. And we're all in it together, and last night was not particularly good one.
Do you mind telling me what happened?
Well, we went to sleep, and our consciousness took us all to this big, scary mansion, and it was surrounded by forests and a dead-leaved path going into these spooky dead woods. They didn't look alive. And there was mist around the entire area. The windows were boarded up, and there was a birdcage next to the big door with a knocker on it that had a gargoyle.
And a big letter
And there
A.
were spiders and combinations on both the door and the cage. We figured it out because of the spiders missing legs and a candelabra. It was really confusing. It was a giant puzzle box. But we opened the cage and there was this purple crystal inside it. And we took it, and it shone, it glowed, and it had a beam coming out of it, and we were able to solve the next clue to get the door open. And once we all went in there and we shut the door, lady said, "Oh, you opened the door," and then we woke up. The only thing is, with these dreams, they're usually just dreams, right? And she pulls out the crystal out of her bag and she puts it on the table. That was in my pocket this morning.
Oh, that's strange. Do you all remember this dream of being all together?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Have you Have you ever heard of a building like that? A brick kind of rundown building, like a mansion with a big H on the door. Does that sound familiar in any way?
Can't say that it does, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But this is very strange. Belle and Adam, they should be back any minute now. They ran into town for a couple things, but maybe you could ask them. They might know something, but that doesn't sound familiar.
Like it happened. Obviously.
Very strange, for sure. But for now, let's eat, okay? I'm sure you must be starving.
Thank you.
Of
And
course.
she takes the crystal and she puts it back in her bag.
All right, I have a few things that I need to get done for this evening, so my presence will be kind of scarce. But if you need anything, just let me know, okay?
Of course.
Thank you for this.
Of course. I'm glad I could entertain and finally had the nerve, not the really nerve, but just the ambition to take a shower and bathe myself. Finally get rid of that disgusting black ash and soot covered hair.
You look well.
Thank you. I think Bond looks a little better on me.
I just want to say you look great both ways.
Well, thank you, Meryl. I appreciate you. Merci beaucoup. Um, Cinderella, she starts putting stuff onto her plate before standing up from the table, and she's like, I'm gonna be eating my breakfast on the go. Lots to do today before this evening. Um, Again, like I said, if you need anything, I'll be running around here. Belle and Adam should be back soon. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bon appetit. Hmm.
Bon appetit.
Cinderella laughs and then she exits the room, leaving you guys all together.
Giles is munching on a biscuit, like the strangest thing she's ever eaten.
Bailey takes a couple bites and then kind of slides the plate away. Not really very hungry after that.
Meryl is chowing down.
There's Lucan.
I think
Eating
Val's more interested
petitely.
in water. She's like, water.
So, what's our plan for today? I'm having a hard time focusing.
I think what we talked about before, that weird thing, we need to go to the castle and, see if the totem actually is there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we have to get Prince Charming out of the castle too? Are we still trying that?
No, I think we decided not to not to lure him and kidnap him and to like go to the ball and distract Esmeralda and Anastasia and Lady Tremaine, so they could, do their dancing thingy.
Can't Cinderella not get into the castle?
But Lucan had the assumption, sorry, that
Please help me.
if she went with us, that our keeper powers could let
Right.
her in.
Okay.
So I am not a goldfish.
I am.
Question.
For
But if
us,
we got there early, disguised as people who work at the castle?
yeah. She also mentioned that friend that to get us in too. That was also another lead we have. I don't know who, obviously. That could be what we do today. do some reconnaissance, look into the windows.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a palace. There's going to be so many people there.
Blend in, right? There's that. I don't know how that works. Just walk. Be like, I own the place.
Sure that we could sneak in if we needed to.
Thal, I say this with so much respect in my heart for you.
Yes.
It is hard for you to blend in.
He's
Is
not
it
the
because
only
of my
one.
hair?
This is true. This is true. Yes.
I think she's done a pretty dang good job considering our circumstances.
I'm not belittling her accomplishments by any means.
It's because I'm blue, isn't it? Okay. I imagine that if I need to, I can also be a mermaid if that's better suited. I have a
No.
tail. Oh, okay.
It would
No.
be much
No.
worse. Much worse.
Oh, but I could be like a distraction. Like, look, a fish.
Now that would work, I think. But
Yeah,
But we'll save that as a.
I would be afraid what they would do to you.
I don't think we need that in this case. But we will keep that in mind for later.
Okay.
As you guys are all talking, the front door opens, and in comes Belle and Adam. They've got big paper bags of just groceries and other supplies and stuff like this. And they all head into the dining room and they're like, "Oh, good morning, how are we all?" As she kind of like goes throughout the kitchen and starts putting stuff on the kitchen counters and things like that. Adam says, I'll put this stuff away. You go sit and enjoy your breakfast." And Belle says, "Oh, thank you, hon." And she kisses him on the cheek before coming back over in her blue, iconic dress, and her little white villager apron and things like this. And she sits down at the table and starts nibbling on some toast. So she's like, "How are we doing this morning?"
We have a question
Well,
for you,
Okay, hopefully I have an answer.
Elowen.
Talk again.
Well, I mean, like, okay, we went to a really spooky house. It had an agent on the door. Have you seen the agent on the door? It had a big agent on the door. Wrapping on the porch, spooky woods. Rawr. And then there's a birdcage here, some spiders. And we went inside. The voice said, "You open the door." And then we had this crystal. Elowen. She says it real fast.
We all had the same dream last night, and we thought it was a dream.
No.
oh
I looked
no.
The
outside
good
in the
thing we
woods.
all
There
know.
was 12 dead, or 12 scary figures, and we thought the safest thing was to get in the house. We went in the house and closed the door, heard a voice, and we woke up. The only thing is, we don't think it necessarily. I don't know, because. And she pulls out the crystal and puts it on the table. That was in the dream last night. One of the puzzles we had to solve. We got the crystal. The crystal's here.
Belle looks over and she's like, "May I?"
Sure. In the dream, it was used as a little beam of light.
"You got yourself a seeker's crystal."
A what?
A seeker's crystal. It has the ability to reveal secret messages left by something. Usually can reveal boards and other things of that nature.
We should use it on Eliot.
However, it
Okay.
looks like this one is quite dead. You'll need to recharge it.
Do you happen to know how to recharge it?
Yeah, absolutely. In one of my books that I read when I was in Beast Castle, it talked about some type of fresh running water that you'll need to have it bathed in for an entire night cycle, and then you can use it again.
Thank you. It's very helpful.
Absolutely. Helping is my specialty.
Well, I was wondering if you could help us with something else.
Of course.
I really want to find the building we were at. I don't know where it could be though. I've never heard of anywhere like it. It was three-story building, like a mansion. It was brick, and on the door had an H, like a big emblem with an H and a gargoyle knocker. It was surrounded by
Gargoyle knocker, you said?
Yeah,
And an
do you
H?
know? Yes.
Um,
Just-
Architecturally speaking wise, that sounds like a mansion of an Oxleyan um, design, mostly dated more to the northern Oxley, so you're looking at more Loxton type architecture. Um, Gargoyles were used by aristocrats and nobles and things of that nature way before the revolution of going more towards steam and mechanical things in Loxton. But if you're looking for a mansion, it's got to be somewhere in Oxley, specifically northern Oxley near Loxton.
Well, I'm from Loxton. I'm familiar with Loxton, but I'm not really familiar with the outside of the city, anywhere that's out in a forest, but
Well, unfortunately, that architecture ended about 250 years ago, our time. Um, though there was one person that lived during that time that you might be able to speak to.
who?
He goes by the name of Lucifer De'mon. He owns a burlesque nightclub called the Velvet Leash. You've heard of it, haven't you, if you lived in Loxton?
I have heard of the Velvet Leash.
He would be the only one that might know, and I trust him, and Eliot trusts him, so... But
I've heard a lot of
unfortunately,
things about the Velvet Leash.
yeah, I mean, personally, I've obviously never been, but um, it is definitely risque, to say the least. But
What's
unfortunately,
risque?
risque, a little adult.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Val's still confused. She's like,
but unfortunately, Oxley does not exist where we are. So that is going to be more for when we get back to Everas. If we get back to Everas. But that all depends tonight, during the ball, when we finally get our hands on that mirror, and hopefully get ourselves back to Everas.
Thank you, Belle.
Of course. Adam comes back in the room at this time after he's put all of the groceries and other things he put away. And he sits down next to Belle and starts eating his breakfast. And Adam says, "Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
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 You all excited for this evening?"
No.
I don't know if excitement is the word for it.
I'm a little nervous.
Ah, well, maybe I can help you out. I've been to my fair share of parties and galas and balls.
But
Maybe I
we
can
haven't
help you
been
with these.
invited.
That's no problem. And what happens here is that everyone is invited to tonight's ball. So that's the best part. You don't need an invitation. Everyone's invited.
I was wondering how we were going to get in, so that at least makes things easier.
Hmm.
They want to make sure that their new prince has the respectable bride. The prince that just so happens to be my brother.
What?
The drama.
Yeah. So
So,
obviously Belle and I will not be going to and attending the ball this evening.
what? Why not? Don't
Uh, they don't need to see my face. And also, if this is a story world of Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast don't need to be a part of it.
But he's your brother.
Yeah, well, worse things
Wouldn't
have
be
happened.
following the books or the stories at all.
We don't want to mess with our tails too much.
I'm messing with my tail. I miss it. So it's munching on her biscuit again.
Beast, I
person.
still have. I'm sorry, Adam.
It's okay.
I I I still have Lumiere, just to let you know.
Perfect.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I
Things
haven't
take
lost
time.
him.
I appreciate that very much, Elowen. May he guide you in the dark.
Hope so.
We'll remember that next time.
Next time.
Dreams are proving to be continuously more stressful than they
You know,
once
this
were.
that is just absolutely strange. I feel like I have not had a dream in so long. And Belle looks over at Adam and she's like, you're not wrong. I don't remember my last dream either. But that's nothing normal. Humans tend to forget their dreams after they've woken up.
Sometimes.
She looks to
Sometimes not.
Lucan.
What?
But you're a human, and you remember.
You're the only human.
I don't think he was talking specifically. Like,
Oh, okay. Well, consider yourself lucky you're not having dreams, because the dreams we've been having have been very weird. As you heard.
Most nightmarish. But
Weird.
we do have to come up with a plan tonight. So we
Uh,
just go in dressed like this and hope that they don't think that we're weird and crazy and try to sneak off and find this mirror?
Belle kind of smiles and she says, Ella stayed up all night last night working on glamours for you all.
What?
They're yes, they're dresses for you to wear to the ball this evening, or tuxes, or whatever you wish to wear. Um, she will have them for you for this evening so that you can blend in much better.
She's
Really
been hard at work. I feel like we owe her,
a happy ending.
yeah,
Ella
quite a
hasn't
bit.
stopped. So, I mean, sure, I've been through my past traumas being locked in a castle. She sides by Adam. But Ella's story, I mean, losing her mother and then losing her father and then being abused and put into basically slavery by her own family. It's just been a god awful. And then losing the love of her life in our world and then coming here and then all of a sudden he's back alive again. Torture.
Must be suffering a really severe broken heart.
She doesn't
That's
stop
like
moving.
the worst pain ever.
Yes. I was strong. But
All we could do is make this right.
exactly. Now, the person that you're going to be, the confidant, that works within the castle, works on the bells. Ella hasn't told me who it was, but they will meet you in the castle courtyard at exactly 10 p.m. That's when most guests have already entered the ball and are dancing and things are underway. The only thing is, we have until midnight tonight. That is a 2-hour window of opportunity for you to find that mirror and either bring it back here or figure out some way to get back to Everas. We cannot let Lady Tremaine, Drizella, and Anastasia know about this. They're the only ones that also know about Everas. Everything else here is an illusion, a made up dream created from the story worlds when they were born. Which leads me to Prince Charming and Darren. I have a hunch, an unfortunate hunch, that Darren is not going to be able to come back to Everos with us. Because he is not really real.
I
I
was
mean,
beginning to think the same thing.
It would be an illusion too.
I severely hope that I'm wrong, and this is Ella's second chance at getting her happily ever after, but
Well, I have a question for all of us that pertains to this as well. If he cannot come back and Ella chooses to stay here with him,
then that
do
means
we
we have to do everything in our power to make sure that this story gets corrected.
Okay.
We owe it to her.
Yeah.
And we respect her wish to live in this illusion where she's happy.
It would be her choice.
Absolutely.
It would be
And
what I want.
it's what the author would have wanted in the beginning.
Ah,
Yes, the being that lives within the Hall of Stories works very closely with the Guardian to create these story worlds for all of us.
she looks around at everybody, seeing if they know that she talked
And none
about.
of you have any type of reading experience or going to school?
I grew
I've
up in the
seen a
forest.
school of fish.
Hi.
Yeah.
Well, went to school, but would Bailey have been taught about that?
Probably not.
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like that, but of course I have an education.
I'm sorry, sometimes I forget what I've read in school and what I've read outside of the curriculum. But that's neither here nor there. It's out of our hands. There's nothing that we can do about that. Just making sure that Ella gets her happy ending. Just like you guys helped me with my own happy ending with Adam.
Right.
Right. Except that was a partial happy ending. Still.
We'll get ours.
Whatever she chose.
Well, tonight, maybe we should, this sounds awful, split up. One side, look for the mirror. The other, try to get Ella and Darren together.
If I'm being honest and we're splitting up, Bailey and I might be the best to go and
Find
look
the
for the
mirror.
mirror. Yes.
It's actually exactly what I was thinking too, Meryl.
Hmm.
Well, I don't think we should make that decision just yet. Because I don't feel like splitting up here is a very good idea. But if it makes the most sense at the time, we'll do it. Let's just not
Hmm.
plan for that right away.
Let's remember we only have 2 hours. And, if we need to be quiet and sneak into part of the castle, that takes time. Might take time to get um, Cinderella and Darren together too.
Important.
How
Someone will
would
need to
we
make.
get them together?
Maybe the
Well,
same way we did with Adam and you and Belle.
I'm sure that things will work themselves out, hopefully. I worry about Ella and seeing Darren again and all of those feelings that she's going to feel when she, you know, but I know that she misses him. Um, but anyways, I feel like that's a pretty solid plan.
You think so?
Yeah. Um, two of you will get the mirror and make sure that it's done before midnight because at midnight, obviously, that is when the ball ends and people are going to notice your glamours are going to be wavering off. So that's important to be done before then. And then once we have the mirror back here, we figure out how to get Fairy Godmother back, and hopefully she can bibbity bobbity boo us back to Everas.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
Be
that be
nice.
something? Yeah.
be awesome.
But anyways, Belle, she finishes up her meal and she grabs her plate and Adam's plate as well. She's like, well, I'm going to be around if you need me. I've got a
I have
couple
one
books.
more question before you go. Just
Sure.
super simple. Are there any streams or anything, rivers that aren't too violent around here close by?
Um, just from when Adam and I went into town, there was a small brook that we passed. It's not too far from here, just outside the grounds of the chateau.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Elowen, do you mind? This is sudden, I know. Do you mind if I uh, borrow the crystal for a minute? I kind of want to go for a walk. kind of want to be in the forest, kind of want to get my feet wet, you know? And I think that maybe I know it's this. She said it, you have to charge it all night, but I feel like having something that could help us see wards and magical things might be really useful. When trying to find a mirror that a very powerful queen is protecting. And it might not do anything, but if I'm going to be playing in the water, you know,
No, absolutely. Would you mind if I go with you? Or wanna go alone?
you can come with me. Just don't judge me, okay?
Why would I judge you? I'm a
Cause
druid. Of
uh,
course, it's completely fine. I'll play in the water with you.
okay. Well, I was gonna go now. Is that okay? Are you ready?
Oh, yes, yes, I'm fine. And she takes one quick last swig of her water and she's like, anybody else would like to join us?
Lucan, you have to stay. I'm sorry. You're the
What?
only guy. I'm sorry.
Adam looks over at Lucan and he says, "Listen, I can tell that you like to hit ripped. I was gonna go for a jog. Um, if you wanna join me,
Sure.
that'll work." And
That's
Belle
fine.
just folds her arms and just raises her eyebrows and looks at Adam, and it's just like, boys.
I know, boys.
I have a couple books that I bought today at the bookstore, so I'll be reading them upstairs if you need me. There is one thing that I do ask if you do happen to stop by town. I was not able to get it before, but there is some honey. I need a jar of honey
Mhm.
and some chamomile flowers. I would like to make some tea before we all to settle our nerves for the ball this evening. Those are the two things I was not able to get.
Of
Actually, a
course.
cup of tea sounds fantastic. Maybe while you guys go for a jog and you guys go to play in the river, Thal, do you want to walk to town with me?
Do that.
Wonderful.
Oh,
And then she kisses Adam on the cheek before grabbing the books from off the table. She has like as she kind of picks up the first one, holds it in one hand, and has the rest of the books in her other as she goes up the balcony, upstairs, and you see that she goes into Eliot's room, um, up there. And then Adam says he like takes off his like jacket and his vest, and he switches his boots off to more comfortable like running shoe almost, and he like punches Lucan on the shoulder. He's like, "All right, bro, you ready?" Not really,
Meryl rolls
bro.
her
I
eyes.
hate that. I hate that. He just said bros. He did not say bro. He's like, "All right, Lucan, you ready?"
Sure. He'll stand up and um I mean he's probably still like I don't know, not in PJs, but
Yeah, they got dressed for the day.
yeah.
Just
And
athleisure wear.
yeah.
Maybe he can make a man out of you.
All right, and the two of them head out the front door, and you start taking like one of the paths and start jogging. Meryl and Elowen, you guys kind of gather your things and you head out the back, where you first originally saw Cinderella with her sword destroying some of the Dreamless. And you pass by a broken fountain that's just covered in moss and leaves, and um, and then you hear a rustling kind of on the outskirts, and then you see um um this large dog, this brown dog, start charging at you, and then it disappears, like, I mean, literally out of thin air. And you see Ella with a bag of feed, feeding chickens out in the backyard, and she's like, "Oh, that's Bruno. I don't know why spirit stays here. It's almost like he's protecting me even from beyond the grave. Don't worry about him." And she goes and
That's cute.
continues feeding the chickens, and you see the little mice running around her feet, and she's like, "Oh, here you go." And she starts feeding mice as well. And then she as she's kneeling down, she turns to look at you. She's like, "Oh, where you guys headed?"
A little swim.
"Oh, the creek."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be careful of bullywugs. I have noticed that they like to play in that creek.
Bullywogs?
Yeah, little frog creatures.
Do they attack you?
They're harmless until provoked.
Oh, well, okay. I have no intention of provoking wildlife.
Good. Well, enjoy your swim. It's literally a beautiful summer day.
Perfect.
Yes.
And you guys like head out. You pass like the ivory covered, half walls and down the countryside lane until eventually you come to like this gorgeous like stream. That's just um summer and just the feeling of warmth, and you see little bugs flying around and butterflies and just very picturesque, beautiful, quaint kind of crossing where there's a creek at.
This is so much better than foggy forests, don't you agree?
Yes, it's not Everas, but it is still beautiful.
It is. Meryl will start taking from her satchel. She'll grab a stick of incense, she'll grab 2 candles, and she'll kind of put them close to the water, but obviously not in the water because I want to light them. And then she'll start stripping down all her clothes.
Oh gosh!
I
I
told
didn't
you
realize.
not to judge me.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. And she like quickly like goes like this and turns around the other way. She's like, I had no idea. I'm not judging. It's okay. But
Well,
I just didn't expect it.
I don't want to get my clothes wet, and for some reason, feeling the water is a bit easier this way, and uh, I'll wade in a little bit, and then Meryl will just kind of sit down cross-legged in the water, so like her waist is covered. And
Okay.
oh, pass me the crystal.
Yeah, of course. And she goes in and she grabs it and she like kind of tosses it.
Hopefully, I catch it. My dexterity is
Uh,
kind of high.
you what?
My
Yeah,
dexterity is kind of high.
roll dex. You got this. You got this.
Okay. If I just add my dexterity modifier, it's a 17.
Yep, you definitely catch it
Beautiful.
with ease.
And she'll sit in the water for a few minutes, and she'll make sure the crystal's like under the water too. And with the
Sure.
candles and the incense going, she will just give up a prayer to Grim, because he feels very far away at the moment, and things feel very strange, always.
How long would you say that you pray?
2 or 3 minutes. I don't want to just leave Elowen sitting
Sure,
there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you kind of like wade in the water and you see like some fish kind of swim around you as you hold the crystal underwater, and you see that it starts to glow a faint lilac lavender color. Um, and then you kind of bury it into the dirt to kind of stick it into the ground so that it stays safe. It feels pretty secure for you. And you give a moment to pray um, to Grim, and you kind of do your deep breathing and just the meditation about it, and you feel just like a sense of calmness and a sense of
Mm,
lightness kind of come back to you, similar to when you look at Ella, at Belle, and at Eliot. That kind of warmth, that kind of like belonging, that familiar feeling comes back to you. Ellen, you kind of watch this in like not necessarily awe, but just a respect, if that makes sense.
oh, I think Lauren froze.
Going to take her poncho off. She has just a linen shirt with a leather. She does have leather armor, so she takes off her leather armor and she just has like a linen shirt underneath, and she rolls up her pants and she takes off her shoes and just her like just to wade in the water real quick, like in knee high length,
Hmm.
and she just looks around. She's like, "It is really pretty here." And after Meryl's done.
Mhm.
Okay.
It
Um,
it is.
so do you stay in the creek? as Elowen does all this?
Yeah, I'll just keep sitting. It's nice.
Okay. So, Ellen, you said that you were gonna wait until she gets out, or you're gonna get in as well?
I will give a very obvious, like, the candles will go out on their own to signify that the prayer is done, and yes, that I'm
Yeah,
open
as
for
soon as
conversation.
that's done, Elowen like
Yes.
is going to walk in the water. She didn't want to disturb Meryl.
Can both of you roll a perception check for me?
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh, that's not good.
Perception,
Mhm.
22.
Great, because I rolled 7.
Um, you, as you're just kind of like bathing and enjoying kind of the stream and the creek and the
Splash.
warm summer water, um, you can you hear something up over the cliffside of kind of the creek area. It sounds like a man who's saying, "Help, help me."
Meryl's just splashing away.
Like she knee deep in the water and she stops and she's like shh, shh and she like shushes Meryl. She's like, and she goes tries to listen again just to make sure she heard what she heard.
Again, you kind of hear a distant kind of shouting, "Help me, help me."
Meryl, someone's yelling for help.
Someone's for help, and she'll stand up.
Hmm.
For help. Which direction? Can you
Up the
tell?
cliffside.
Up the cliffside? Okay, hold on 1 second, and I'll start shoving everything back in my pack and pulling my drawers up real quick. And
Yeah, Elowen goes. She exits the water, puts her shoes back on, and her poncho and that kind of stuff, her armor. Like, come on.
okay, I'm
Alright,
gonna cast a light cantrip just to see if I still have my magic. If it's back
yes,
for sure. Okay, good.
Mhm.
And I'm
yes.
ready.
Alright, so you cross over to the cliffside. It does look like you would be able to climb it, pretty easily. Looks pretty simple to climb up it. Or you can take the longer route, to get up on the other side and cross over.
Let's just climb up.
I will try, sure.
Alright, both of you roll an athletics check.
17 plus 1, 18.
Oh, a 17.
Perfect.
That's incredible.
So both of you start climbing up the cliffside, and with pretty easily. Actually, you kind of climb yourself up, grabbing onto vine and rope, and then you pull yourself over, and you realize you're in a small little meadow where you see that there is a half man, half goat creature that is slumped over on a rock, and you see that he has a big, like, bloody gash on the side of him. He's a faun, and he's like reaching forward to you, saying, "Help, help!"
Oh my god. I run
Goodness.
after him immediately.
And
Elowen does as well.
the faun is like holding onto his side, and he looks up and he says, "Oh, I didn't think that anyone's gonna find me. Oh, please, please help me."
Of
Yeah.
course. Elowen takes out of her bag. She has a potion of healing.
Mhm.
She uncorks it and she's like, "Drink this."
"No, if that's a potion of healing, you need to dump it on my wound.
Oh, I'm
It's
just
okay.
beginning. Sorry. And
You're
she
fine."
dumps it on the wound.
Um, so like you see it start to like sizzle and steam, and he's like, "Ah,
It'll get better. It'll get
ooh,
better.
oh, oh my God. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate it." And he like pulls away his hands and kind of wipes some of the blood off on his fur, and you see that his wound has been healed. And he goes, "I thought I was gonna die. My name's Socks. I appreciate it."
Fox.
Socks?
Uh, it's very nice to meet you. May I ask what happened?
Well, I was trying to gather some grapes because I was trying to make a very nice wine. And then out of the blue, these little creatures came out of nowhere and sliced me open.
Little
What
creatures?
kind of creatures?
They were black and weird. I had never seen them before.
I'm afraid we've probably seen them before.
Did they look kind of smoky, dusty kind of deal?
Yes, I thought they did. Do you know what they are?
We don't know per se, but they're not necessarily good, obviously. But we've seen them around and had to fight them before. We have no idea.
Well, strange. Well, the grove of grapes is literally just beyond that tree line over there. If you could clear them out, I would give you a bottle of wine or whatever you wanted.
That seems like a fair deal. And it'll make sure that you and possibly your friends or family, whoever lives around here, would be safe as well.
Thank you very much. What did you say your name was?
I'm Elowen.
And Meryl.
It's nice to meet the both of you. I appreciate it very much. Well, I will be here, and when you've defeated them, come back to me. All right. So you guys head through the kind of forest line, and you see that there is a grove of these grapes growing on vines all around this kind of really pretty grove where little butterflies and little sprites and pixies are zooming in and out of each other. Very wonderful, very fey, very whimsical. And then you see three black inky creatures like just ravishing some of the plants, and it looks like as if the vines are turning black and gross like the trees beforehand that you had seen.
All right, so
Go
we
Looks
don't
ahead.
have
up
to get too
Meryl. She's
close.
like, yeah, don't let them touch you. We got this. There's only a few of them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Here, watch. Eldritch Blast.
All right, how many points of damage?
What do I even roll? It's been so long.
8.
D10.
What? You have D10?
I have a D10. You should have a D10
Oh,
too.
it
We're
is
the same
D10.
level.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Still
I was
cast
gonna
an
say.
8. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shoot, which one is a freaking D10? This one. 4.
Okay. So you shoot off this beam of magic, and it it hits one of the black inky creatures as it like falls out of the vines and like scrambles to get back up. It kind of like looks over, and then finally it sees you on the other side, and it starts running towards you.
Oh shoot, I didn't get it. Elowen.
Elowen casts Moonbeam um, towards the creatures, which
Mhm.
is 5 foot radius, 4 foot high cylinder. It has to do a con saving throw. Has to be 12.
7.
Does not. 9, 7. Okay, 9 plus 7. I can't do math right now.
16.
16.
So, yeah, you a silvery beam of light kind of comes out of you, and it hits the Dreamless, and then it literally just kind of disintegrates into like the black smoky dust. Um, and then you see the two other ones barreling towards you. You're still not in initiative yet.
Wow, I really do not have a lot unless it's freaking Eldritch Blast.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'll do another one.
It's the perfect spell.
It really is though.
Hold on one second. Um,
I did 8
Recording
points
again.
of damage. Damage.
you did how much?
8.
Okay, so yeah, so the second one also disintegrates in a poofy kind of dust. But the third one is still there and it is officially in range, but I'll just have Ashley go next for Thal and then the creature if you don't kill it.
Elowen.
Elowen, yes, that's right, sorry.
One
Yeah.
time I'm not swimming.
Quick question though before I do this. If I use poison spray, will it poison the grapes?
That's an interesting thought.
Very interesting thought.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have thought about that until you brought it up.
Sorry. I actually have
Let me
some
see.
leftover stones, so I'm going to use my cantrip magic
No.
stone.
Extend your hand toward a creature using the range of a puff of noxious gas puts your palm. The creature must see it. It's more. No. The answer is no.
It would be no.
No.
Okay, then I cast poison
But
spray.
remember last time you tried to use poison spray on a Dreamless?
I don't remember.
The poison. They're immune to poison damage.
Oh. All right. Well, then I'll go back and I'll use magic stone.
Elowen's like,
17 to
poison,
hit.
no,
That's a
stone.
hit.
Okay.
How much
7.
damage?
7.
Yes. So this one also gets destroyed and turned into dust and smoke. And you have
We did
cleared
it.
all of them. Yep.
Oh yeah, we did.
And she goes up for a high five. She's like, "We got this."
Let's wait before we go anywhere. Let's run and look to see if the plants are getting worse, if it's spreading where they were, or if it's stopped because they're dead now. Because it doesn't. If we save the grove, but it just rots away anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure my druid craft could help with it, helping with the growth of the vineyard too.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go into the grapevine orchard.
Okay. And do what?
We're going to investigate / nature roll to see if the vines are continually dying or is it just the ones that they touched.
Okay, go ahead. Go run nature.
Oh, I have a +4. Okay, 12.
It looks like the infestation is not quarantine, but stable. Like it's not spreading.
Mm-hmm.
It's staying in one place.
Okay.
That's a good sign.
Okay. Well, I couldn't help to give the orchard a little boost.
Yeah.
She goes and she just runs her fingers through the vines that are around here as they're exiting the little orchard vineyard place. I forget what you call it. And she casts druidcraft just to help with the growth.
Sure. So as you kind of are casting Druidcraft, you feel the coursing energy, almost like a rushing water or river, through your hands as you're kind of growing these purple grapes and white grapes and stuff throughout the grove as you kind of exit the grove and pass on to the other side towards the Faun. Um, what you didn't see as you were doing that to the grove, the vines started growing a lot, not on a normally quickened pace, but then they stopped.
It's always so
You
impressive when you do that.
They weren't supposed to be that big.
almost as if your power is growing.
Oh. Put a little extra juice in there and it like.
I've never grown something this big before.
Well, it's exciting. I'm glad I was
It
here for
is.
the first time.
That is exciting, just unexpected.
Uh-huh.
Well, we best go tell the our buddy friend Socks
Yes, socks,
that
socks. Yeah.
the grove is all good.
Okay.
So you pass through the forest line and you kind of you listen for the brook in the distance and you follow the path and eventually come back to where you found Socks. And he's playing a little pan flute just kind of, bobbing around as you see what looks to be little red toadstools, with little white dots on them, kind of dancing around him, just kind of casually. And then there are these little creatures with these long pointed hats on their heads, in different colors or shades of crimson and blue and yellows and green. You see little pixies kind of floating and flitting around him, and then he he's like, oh, and he tucks his pan flute into his little pouch on the side, and all the little creatures kind of like scurry away a little bit as he stands up off the rock and he says, have you done it?
That we have.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you clearing out the grove for me. One bottle of wine. Oh dear. I do not have wine on me. However, if I can call the lady, she will help us. She's a wonderful fairy that looks over the forest with me. Um, and he pulls back out his pamphlet and do 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 do. Um, and well, the little creatures come back out and start dancing around him, and um, you see something fly across in the sky, and kind of swirl down, and then come down kind of in front of you. She's beautiful looking fairy, lots of browns and ivory colors, and wings and long hair, and beautiful, like a sparkly kind of looking skin and glint to her. And Sock says, ah, yes, lady, these fine friends have helped the forest, and I promised them that I would bring them wine if they cleared out the Dreamless here. Um, or not the Dreamless, the creatures, because he doesn't know what the Dreamless are. Um, and she looks at you and she says, ah, wonderful. Then yes, a bottle of wine it shall be. And then she, from her magic, she kind of rises up a glass, like a glass bottle, and then you see from the bottom this crimson kind of dark purplish liquid fill up, and then golden like leaves kind of like wrap around it, and a cork sticks on the top, and she hands it over to you. Says, thank you so much for being a friend of the forest.
Of course. Thank you very much. Oh, and Socks, your grove just got a little bit bigger. I hope you don't mind.
What do you mean?
Well, I wanted to help it because the little scary monsters were kind of eating at some parts of it, so I went ahead and helped it grow a little bit, and it went a little crazy. So hopefully you'll.
Wait, I'm so sorry. You use your magic in our grove?
Oh.
Yes,
To help,
to
make,
help.
yeah.
um, that grove has not been touched by any other creature than the faun who take care of it in centuries. There's a reason why fawns are the only ones that can handle it. It's because those thorns that grow in the vines, they have a mind of their own, and can get wild, and we're the only ones that can tame them.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh.
That's okay. You didn't know. Um, that's
Oh.
okay. You didn't know. Um, we will take care of it from here. Thank you again for healing me and not letting me die. And then he looks over to the lady. He says, "Let's go take care of the grove." And she like raises her eyebrows at you all and says, "Yes, let's." And then they go off back towards the forest, and you
Thank you
see
so much. Sorry.
you see the lady smack him in the back of the head as the little like toadstools and creatures are like following them behind them back down into the forest.
You know what, Elowen? I think you did the right thing. Honestly.
I was just trying to help.
Yeah. And I think that maybe our little friend Socks there was mildly jealous because he takes care of it all of the time and it was still small and not as lush as when you were there.
Hopefully,
Maybe.
hopefully it won't take over everything. Uh, Maybe we should get back now. I'm sure everyone wants to get ready.
Sure. As we're walking back, Meryl would just sort of absentmindedly be like, "So, Bailey has a girlfriend, huh?"
Oh, yes.
And I take it we're trying to save her?
Not necessarily save her, but find her. She
Find her?
went missing, but I don't know much more I can tell you.
Hmm.
Just because we spoke in confidence, and I don't want to ruin that trust.
Of course not. I don't want you to step on any toes. Um, I would like to find her. Bailey's quite pretty, and she deserves her happy ending too, don't you think?
I believe we all do, in our own ways. Hey, you grabbed the crystal from the stream, right?
Yes, absolutely. Here, and
Okay.
I'll fish it out, and I'll give it back to
No,
Elowen because it was originally hers.
it wasn't mine. I just plucked it from the cage. If you would like to have it, you are more than welcome to.
I'll hold on to it for now, but anybody who decides that they need it, it is open for everyone.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let's get back. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see what fashion
Yes,
is.
it's curious too. We'll see what Cinderella thinks that we should be wearing, I guess.
All right. So Thal and Bailey, you guys have headed into town, and as you cross this countryside, you see this gorgeous, beautiful, sprawling city with these large townhomes, and you see this beautiful palace in the center of the city with towers and turrets, and everyone just seems to be in just a wonderful mood, and everything's gorgeous. There's ivy and flowers and gardenia growing off the scales of the buildings, and you're passing cafes and patisseries and restaurants and bookshops, and just the smells of pastries fill your nostrils, and warm bread of bakeries, and everyone just seems to be in a very polite and happy mood as they nod your way um, as you get into town.
Ash, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I muted myself. um, as I said, this is not a town that we've visited before. It looks like it's colorful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice here. But come on, we shouldn't take too long. Let's just try to find what Belle needs.
Chamomile and honai.
Right.
Yeah. Don't know what that is at all, but yeah. And she like wanders off to like and look at inside a window, like, look at these. It's like chocolate.
What are you looking at? Oh, chocolate?
Look.
Do you want to get some?
No. Yes. What is it?
It's a sweet. You've never had a chocolate before?
No.
Come on.
She's just
Maybe
like,
they have honey and chamomile in there too.
all right.
Bailey will open the door for her.
All right, so you head into this small chocolatier kind of candy store. It's got black and white tiles and yellow and blue kind of scaffold, or not scaffolding, but molding and um, pillars and things. You're seeing like assorted candies and suckers and chocolates and just the smell of sweet kind of fills the air. You see like candy floss being made, and from behind the counter, you see a man in a white apron and got like a red little ascot and shirt, and he goes, "Ah, bonjour. What can I do for you, lovely ladies, this fine morning?"
Okay. How much for a dozen chocolates? The ones in the window.
Yes, a dozen candy bars. Ah, well, that they are only one gold piece a piece.
How many of us are there? She kind of looks at Thal. There's 5 of us.
And then Adam and Belle and Ella.
So 8. Do you want to get 8?
Get 8. I'm trying to see how much money I have.
I have...
Oh, I have plenty. Okay. And she's pulls out like a fistful of gold.
Oh my. Okay, how about I'll give him 4 and you give him 4. And we'll take 8, please.
Okay. She takes out 4, pushes it on the counter.
Merci beaucoup. You may take 8 pieces of chocolate. There are dark chocolate, macadamia nuts, milk chocolate, whatever you desire. They are all 1 apiece.
Bailey will take one of the dark chocolates and gesture to Thal. Why don't you pick out the rest? Whatever you think.
She just like picks up random ones. It's like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but she then just takes the random ones.
Mm.
Oh, now I'm really jealous. I don't have any chocolate in this house.
Oh. I have chocolate, but it's not by me.
I did a bad thing. I should have went to a chocolate house.
Alright, au revoir, friends.
Thank you so much. And Bailey will step outside and unwrap hers and eat it as they walk up the street.
Thal's gonna eat hers. She doesn't know which one she grabbed. She's just like, and she's just like off in heaven.
Yes.
It's good, isn't it?
This is the best thing I've ever tasted in my entire life.
You know, I think I agree with you.
And she stuffs it all in her mouth.
I love chocolate. I'm sure everyone else will be happy too. I feel like we could all use something after the last couple days.
Pick me
But-
up.
Yeah. Well, she looks around at the signs in the shops. Where do you think we might find honey and chamomile?
Should we ask somebody? Everybody seems quite friendly here.
Maybe. Bailey will look just to see if she could see any like tea shops or like maybe like a general sort of food store.
Sure. As you kind of are walking down these streets, you finally come across an open air market, where you see just stalls and booths of fresh fruits and vegetables, and you see candles, and you see herbs, and you see, bakery like breads, and pretty much anything that you would normally find at an open air market. And you see like people gathered around, all about doing their business and shopping. But you do see one booth there that does look like it looks like it has like herbs and tea leaves and things like that.
Perfect. Bailey will walk over. Hi.
Bonjour. How can I help you?
We're looking to buy just some basic tea ingredients, some chamomile and maybe a bit of honey.
Sure. Would you like as a jar, or would you like just a little vial of honey? How much would you like?
How much for a jar?
A jar only runs 3 gold pieces.
And the chamomile?
How do you want just dried chamomile on a stick, or would you like, a bag of it, a pound? How much would you like?
Not too much, just enough to make some tea for the next couple days. Just a
Sure.
regular batch, I suppose.
A little pouch? Yes, that is going to run you 5 pieces.
No problem. So 3, 5, 8. She'll hand him the gold pieces.
Merci beaucoup. Are you here for the ball? I seem to see you look like out-of-towners, foreigners, I see.
Kind of looks at Thal.
She's
We're just
nodding.
here to buy ingredients for tea right now.
Interesting. Sure, absolutely. Well, if you do come to the balls this evening, I'm sure there'd be lots of men who would love to dance with you.
I'm sure you're probably
Dancing?
right.
Yes, lots of dancing and whining and dining at the balls this evening.
I don't want to whine. That sounds awful. I want to be happy.
Most people are happy when they drink wine, mademoiselle.
She looks at Bailey suspicious.
Bailey
Oh.
nods. It's good. Kind of like the chocolate. One of life's best things.
Chocolate and wine, great pairing.
Absolutely. Well, maybe if we do decide to go to the ball, we'll see you there.
Yes, absolutely. Au revoir.
Or
Thanks again.
more.
Well, Thal, anything else you want to do while we're out and about?
I have no idea. Everything looks so magical here. Like, I've never seen so many strange colors in my life. Like, I don't know what that is, or that is, or that. And she's pointing at like normal shit, like a wheel, a tent, a fork.
Bailey will patiently take the time to tell her what each thing she points out is as they start walking back.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So you guys are spend a couple hours, in town and kind of going over and going through the streets and then heading back to the chateau. Um, Adam and Lucan are on their little jog. Um, do you want to do any role playing with that, or you just kind of want to leave it as that they went out for a jog?
For a jog, I'm good. I don't really have any questions or anything, so like
No
Sure.
fine.
dude bro moments.
I
um,
want to
Running
dude
down the
bro
trail and
moment.
he reaches over and just punches him. Just nice, bro. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
wow, way to handle wood, bro.
Yeah.
You get a +1 to all strength checks and athletics checks for the rest of the
Oh,
day.
you got fancy stuff.
Nice.
For going on that little run. So eventually you guys all head back to the chateau where it's kind of more towards the afternoon at this time, and kind of everyone is coming back. So people from the forest, from the town, and from their jog, as they all come in, um, and eventually you all kind of converse in the kitchen area where Adam has gone away to kind of take a bath and clean himself up, leaving you all five of you back together.
I got us some chocolates. She puts them out on the table.
Oh,
They're the finest things of life, like wine.
Thal has learned a lot about culture today.
that seems
But
so.
See that?
yes, we wanted to pick up something for each of you.
Well, thank you.
She kind of gasps a little bit. She's like, "We forgot Eliot."
Oh,
Well, Thal, I don't know that he could eat it right now anyways. We'll get him. We'll get him.
we'll make sure to buy him a whole bunch of chocolate back home.
He'll be
Yeah,
alright.
I think he deserves chocolate too.
I think you're right.
Yeah. How was your day?
On adventure and ended up
Absolutely, great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, you glitched out just a little bit.
Only a little.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
I think what Elowen is trying to say is that we met a fawn friend named Sucks, and we fought some Dreamless actually
Oh.
that were here. Only a couple. It wasn't. They were messing around in a vineyard, and so we helped, and we destroyed them, of course, and we got some wine for us for the party.
Really?
Yeah,
That'll go nicely with the chocolate.
this is very true.
We have wine and chocolate.
We're set.
How
Um,
long until the ball?
Hmm.
It's not
What
until
time
this
is it?
evening. It's about 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, we got time. Are these glamour things that Ella has for us? Is this like a one-time use, or do we get to like see what we're gonna wear?
Yeah, it's a one-time use.
Oh,
But you get to kind of choose what you want to wear, like when the glamour happens.
Did you guys have a nice jog?
Yeah, felt pretty good. Invigorating. Feel like I earned this chocolate. He like shoves his hand in the bag and just pulls one out and pops it in his mouth.
it's almost kind of surreal having just a normal afternoon. You know, running
It
errands, swimming. It's nice.
doesn't usually happen for us. It is kind of
Yeah.
nice. The city is beautiful.
It was so colorful, and people were like smiling, and it was bright, and there were lots of umbrellas and wheels and forks and apples. It's just naming things.
Very good, Thal. Very good.
No fish though,
No, no fish.
which is sad. Why do people like fish? I'm a fish.
People do like fish, but I don't think it might be in the way you're expecting. It's
Hmm.
might be for the best we didn't encounter any.
At this time, you hear a door from the main room close, and then someone coming down the steps. You see that it's Belle, carrying one of the books. She comes over to the table and sets it down, and she goes, "Well, finished one story today. He didn't seem to move when I was reading him stories, except when I was reading the one about Jack and the Beanstalk. Our friend Eliot moved.
What?
Yeah, I read him a fable from one of the books, and like he moved. I didn't notice it at first, and then when I finished it, he moved again, and that's when I really caught it.
And that's the only
Wow.
story?
That was the only fable I read.
Show us. Is that possible?
I mean, sure, you can come upstairs.
Val like scrambles upstairs, grabs a spoon, and runs upstairs.
Do you all follow?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So you guys go all up into the room, and Belle sits down on the bed and flips through the book, and she's like, "Okay, Jack and the Beanstalk. Ah, yes. Once upon a time, there lived a poor widow and her son Jack. One day, Jack's mother told him to sell their only cow. Jack went to market, and on the way, he met a man who was selling beans and wanted to buy his cow. Um, and the man said, I'll give you 5 magic beans for your cow. And Jack took the magic beans and gave the man the cow. And then she continues to read. And then you see Eliot's hand twitch and move. She continues to read, but he doesn't move much. And then finally, she finishes the story and closes the book. And she's like, Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Try another one.
And I've tried other ones, but this is the only one that he was attached to or connected to. And then you hear the cawing and flapping of wings of birds as the maiden steps from the shadows of the corner. She approaches the coffin and she like glides her finger over the glass and she says, He's dying.
What?
And that's the end of tonight's episode.
Oh,
Oh,
what? What?
no. Oh,
What?
no.
That's like the
Friend.
worst final note to take ever.
The fuck?
We're
Ugh.
not friends anymore.
Come
I'm
back
just
next
kidding.
I
week.
quit. done.
You quit, you'll never know what happens.
Oh, he's dead. I know enough.
He twitched. He's not dead yet. Getting close.
Yeah, I
but
would feel like that's a good sign.
He's dying.
Yeah.
maybe they're like death spasms, but because he's like unconscious, that's all he gets.
He's fighting for his
Jack
life,
and the
maybe.
Beanstalk.
Yeah, why that?
It's like a spell. I don't know. But
Maybe we need
We need to go
beans.
find some magic beans.
Yeah. We're on the same
Oh,
page.
Elowen did grow the vines up.
I did.
And I got in
Accidentally.
trouble for it.
Yeah.
Vines growing quickly? Jack and the Beanstalk? What?
There's
You're
a
already putting
connection.
2 and 2 together?
I never figured things out. I'm so happy.
oh my
May?
god.
Didn't mean for it to happen. I was just trying to help the Faun thing.
It was very ungrateful.
It was very noble of you to do to help. Absolutely.
I feel like
Oh,
we're running out of
man.
time and I don't like it.
And I feel like there's still so much to do
Yeah.
that it's very stressful.
Yeah, you're
Where's
all like, wow, what a beautiful day. It was just such a
yeah.
relaxing day. I was like, not for long.
Elliot's like, "Hi, you guys. You're splashing in the river, and I'm dying in here. So pick it up a little." Oh no.
I liked the puzzles. Where's my girlfriend?
I don't know where your girlfriend is. Actually, yes, I do. I know exactly where your girlfriend is.
Yeah, you know exactly where she is.
I think
Oh,
Cruella de Vil
man.
has her.
You
Mhm.
think Cruella de Vil has her?
Is she alive?
I think that's where we were, was Cruella de Vil's house.
See, now that's what I thought, but why would it have an H on it?
Hell Hall.
Mhm.
Is it Hell Hall?
Have you
Hell
seen
Hall's
the
a
new?
house?
It's a mansion. It's an estate. Have you seen the Cruella de Vil Cruella movie?
Mm-mm.
You should
Nope.
watch it. It is very good.
Is it
Huh?
Is it what?
is it homework?
You can watch on the solar system, basically, that are the story realms. You guys are just in the story realms right now. So, like, technically, you're still in a material world, except it's a created world. Um, that, if that makes sense. And then when you dream, you go to the dream world, the reverie. So,
Mm.
technically, right now, you are in an Everas adjacent world. You're just not on Everas. If that makes sense. And your dreams obviously can take you anywhere. So
Oh boy,
Oh, it feels so good to be back.
it
I
does.
know, finally, we are back, finally. Yeah, we'll continue next week and see what's going on
Woohoo.
with Mr. Eliot and
Okay.
what's going on with him.
I
And
cry.
we got some clues about where that mansion possibly could be back in Oxley. And our good confidant Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Oh, Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
As you said that, I was like,
The velvet leash.
The
fuck
velvet
her
leash.
again.
I love that. The velvet
Now,
leash.
Mm-hmm.
is this just another velvet leash? Or is it like an original velvet leash? Or
The
is it
velvet leash.
It's Loxton has the original velvet leash.
okay, not the one in Bale. Okay.
I'm
So
so excited to
there,
explore Loxton.
yeah. There's the velvet leash. Sorry. One of my friends texted me. Yeah. So the velvet leash, the original burlesque, place is in Loxton, which obviously is based after London, and you know, so that is where the other Velvet Leash resides in New Valen. There is another kind of subsidiary, if you will, during the vampire versus witches versus werewolves kind of war that happened. Um, but obviously you guys know Lucifer. That's why he's always had a British accent because he's originally from Loxton. So you guys will, yeah. The Velvet Leash is one of my favorite places in Everas. It's this burlesque nightclub, kinky BDSM, dancing showgirls, like kink, leather, vampires.
It is
So
absolutely where I would be
Juicy.
hanging out
right,
for
I
sure.
love it.
it is 100% one of the biggest gay scenes in Everas. So that and the closet. That's one of the two big gay.
Closet. Oh, yeah.
So the closet
I don't want to go
was
back there.
is it's it's this laundromat. Okay, it's basically a speakeasy in Salem. It's this laundromat kind of dry cleaner washing clothes place, and there is a wardrobe in the back that you open to get into the actual club, and that was where Lady A, who ended up being the Wicked Witch, performed in drag. So that was a fun episode. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a fun one. You guys went to your first drag show. It was so cute.
love it.
And Paris. She
Oh,
Oh
said
fancy.
she's
yeah.
like, let's do pixie dust, bitch. Yeah. And Jayla did. Jayla said, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And doing shots off each other's bodies. Oh, that was a fun one. E3
That's so much
meanwhile was
fun.
like, no, I don't want to be here. Fucking
Aw.
Trig fucked that guy in the alley. Drink his blood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Keith saw it.
Yeah, and Keith
Yeah.
Keith did see that.
What?
When
Keith saw
Trig
that.
fucked the guy in the alley and drank his blood behind the
Yeah.
closet, and Keith saw.
We got wild at the gay
Wild.
Lordy.
club.
Go wild.
But hey, that's a normal night at the gay club.
Yeah.
I
But
remember
where's
Tara
the
drinking
lie?
that
Right.
hurricane drink that was like huge. It's like a
Oh
huge
yeah.
cocktail.
Back when you guys went to New Orleans. Yeah, when you had the big hurricane drink and you sat on the balcony watching. Yeah, that was fun. And then yeah, because Jayla and Paris, they like y'all abandoned Jayla, so Jayla was on the hunt for
For
6
us
months or
forever.
whatever.
2
Yeah, looking for
years.
yeah, 2 years. That's right. 2 years looking for you guys. Thought you guys
My
died.
God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because
She just
Ella
shows up.
and that whole debacle happened. Darren died and we got transported to the future.
The
Mhm.
jungle.
I know. Is
Oh.
anybody else a little nervous about going to a ball with these characters again? This last time it went so poorly.
Terrible. I mean,
But
Sarah got to dance, but who did she dance with?
Tara.
Oh yeah,
Tara and Tara
Tara,
dance.
Tara and
Did they?
Tara. Yeah, I think we both danced
Mm-hmm.
together. We're trying to like spy.
Because Shin didn't show up, so Aaron was like, my girlfriend, who's not really my girlfriend, like doesn't want to come to the ball and dance with me and got butt hurt.
Yeah.
It's because she confided in Tara and was like, "Ugh, well, if you see Shin, like, tell her that I said hey."
Oh
I
yeah.
guessed or whatever.
Tara
Like,
did.
I guess, yeah. Oh, Aaron.
That was
Yes,
so long ago.
Yeah.
it was only last year.
I know, but it's been like a full year of D&D since. Like
A lot of
It's
things
true.
happen.
a lot has happened.
Yeah, and then you guys burned down the fucking hotel that was owned by the Countess.
You're
Oh
welcome.
yeah.
This
That
group
was
seems tame compared to the last one.
well, they kind of had to. I mean, Eliot was definitely with them to burn it. Like they had to. It was definitely like the Countess basically was gonna out all the vampires and the supernaturals of the world and basically turn everyone into a blood-sucking beast. And they were like, we can't fucking do that, you stupid bitch. So
Stop.
they literally burned down this hotel where all the vampires were staying at and
All
sided
I'm
with the
saying,
werewolves and witches.
of course, I did
Um,
Nice.
recommend arson, by the way, so I feel like it's still
right.
on the table knowing
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. Because yeah, the vampires they were controlling the witches where the witches couldn't cast magic within New Orleans, and they exiled the werewolves to the bayou, and they couldn't come into the city. So they were like, "Fuck you, vampires." Um, And yeah, it just kind of went from there. Then Trig was sired by Lucifer originally, and then Lucifer let go of his protege of Trig, so he could no longer Trig. So to make sense of that is higher vampires and Everas can control anyone that they've sired, regardless of there's no like they just control them and can make them do whatever they want. But then you can release that hold over them. So that's kind of what Lucifer did in an act to help Trig on a new path.
I
Released
loved that whole part of the campaign.
when
That
the
was
it's so visually like I can see it just this hotel on the street burning in the background as Eliot, Sarah, Trig, and Lucifer are like battle worn, and Lucifer's like literally like I'm letting go of my hold over you. He's like, if you ever need to come find me at the Velvet Leash, and then literally just disappears into the night. Like it, it was a
Poetry.
it was a very good scene, visually, like imaginatively seeing.
I think
'Cause-
when I wrote that scene out too, I had Sarah confess her feelings to Trigva too.
Oh yeah, right.
Trig
And
light
then
a cigarette on the burning building.
that sounds like something that he would do.
I
Yeah.
think I remember that.
Yeah.
And then Willow was like, "I'm gonna go get my wolf boyfriend."
And
think she
Tara was like, I'm gonna
froze.
make a deal with the Shadow Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Shadow
but it
Man.
ended up working out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except
Yeah, and now
it
they have
led
some
to this problem. Right. It led to
now we
this
have
campaign.
oops.
So, oops.
Poor
My bad.
Ella. We kind of fucked her over a little bit. Our old
Yeah, and
characters.
Tiana, you were like, "Oh yeah, we'll help you set up for
Oh
the
yeah,
big
we
the
do.
masquerade party."
Oh
Nope,
no.
gone, ghosted, left her in the dust to make all those beignets by herself.
We were dicks.
It's
Ate
okay.
the beignets later.
We're
Did
dicks.
fucking eat the beignets too. And you know what? She
Yeah, we
wasn't mad.
did.
She was like, "It's okay. Things happen." You guys said, "I'm going to the Persephone. I want to go watch an underground supernatural fight club." That was fun.
I can't believe we're dicks. We're awful to these princesses. We're not the princess protection program before.
You're
we were
doing your best.
we were the dick to the princesses protection.
It's all
Nobody gets
good.
happy endings.
Right. It's okay.
Every
At
man
least
for
you guys
themselves.
did. The epilogue to last campaign was very cute, though.
It was.
The little fair and how it. Okay, so for Sydney and Jeffrey, the ending of the last campaign literally completed the ending or the beginning of the first campaign. So I weaved a fucking tale to make sure that the events that happened at the end of the last campaign ended right where the campaign one began. Like, I mean, like that's what I wanted to do. Like when I sat down to write last campaign, I was like, this is what I want to happen. I want this campaign to end when the first campaign, so that I could have like a closed trilogy, basically. Like, and anything outside of that could be its own new adventure. So that's why we're kind of now in the present of Everas, kind of seeing what's going on. So
Mhm.
it was a good one where.
I danced with Eliot like this.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because Elliot, yeah, Elliot was the
The bird.
DJ, and
I
the
got
Wick of Which
a mansion.
you did. You got a fucking big ass
You made
mansion. Yes.
big.
Yeah. Tara
I
became.
got my whole house.
Oh yeah, I
See,
became queen. Never mind. I made big too.
what
Yeah.
to
I was
say?
gonna say Queen Sarah.
I'm a queen.
Tara became the
Yeah,
supreme of the coven. Yeah, Seraphina became queen of the Arborwild. And the elves, the wood elves. Willa got married with Cal, and they had their little cute little house. Um, Trig died,
Trig died.
but it was for a good
Yeah.
cause. He did sacrifice for himself to
Mhm.
become a flaming demon to destroy another flaming demon. And then
Ellie had a baby. That's why. So
yeah,
she
Allie,
birthed
yeah,
a demon,
yeah.
sacrificing herself.
I thought you said Eliot had a baby, and I was like, well,
No.
what? How?
Eliot is an asexual, demisexual king.
He's great. I
He
love
is Eliot is Eliot.
him.
He's
For
the
sure.
guardian. He has no time
He
for other shit.
no, and he meddles in everyone else's romantic relationships. He doesn't have time for his own.
It's his fault for everything.
I mean, he was there to make sure that these stories get told. So, alrighty, friends. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns, clarification, anything we need to go over?
Nope,
think
I
I'm
so.
off
have
to
a
bed.
question.
Did you have? Yeah. What's up?
The +1 on like the strength and stuff.
Mhm.
Was that for like the whole like day
24 hours.
in the story? Okay, so like
Yeah.
I'll still have that when we come
Yeah.
back next time.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it'll matter. I was just curious.
No, for sure. Hey, any type of modification or modifier you get, it's always important.
Always helps. One hit point always helps. Between
Plus
life
one,
and death. So
for sure. For sure.
Literally.
Matt Mercer always says that. It's like it always
Mhm.
helps.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
sad though how you
Yes.
ended that though.
Yeah, no, I wasn't ready for that.
I legit my heart like
Remember when I said, "Are you guys ready for some trauma?"
well that was trauma.
I thought
That
the 12
was
floating figures chasing us inside of a haunted house was trauma, but apparently I
w-
was not ready.
They were there for ambience.
It worked.
I want you guys to know that beginning of that was my escape room. That that I do in real life. So you guys did very well.
Oh,
we
For
slept
cool.
so hard.
No, you guys did
That's
very
awesome.
well. For being able to explain out loud what you're looking at, and then you guys figure it all out. I mean, you did good. So I was just I was like, because so that kind of thing is you're on the right path about Mia being trapped inside the house, and then like you're kind of putting the puzzle pieces together to like unlock her, basically, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, dreams can be killer.
Yeah.
Gosh, nice job figuring out help and then just like that.
Yes.
Thal would probably not have figured it out, honestly. But I had it like written down help the whole time. And I was like, I think it's help, but I'll just let them do the thing. And I was like, let's try this, please.
Just do it. Ah.
I noticed it too. Like we pointed out, like,
Mhm.
oh, we can spell help, and I wrote it down, and then it was just like didn't
There were
think
3
about it
extra letters, so I was like, no way. That's just kind of how it like played out. There's got to be something else, but I couldn't figure it out.
It's supposed to trip you
Hour,
up.
I like
Blair,
riddles, so that's
Wait.
my thing too.
I do too. I'm just really bad at them.
I know. I like the puzzles. I never can figure out what's
No.
going on.
No.
See, I thought that the help just seemed like too
Obvious.
obvious, and I was kind of like, that's so like that it. Who would do that? Like no, it's not help. Like so that's why I didn't
Well,
think too much about it. But
It's all good. You figured it out. You got in the house. You opened the door. So,
And Elliot's dying, so.
and Elliot is
Elliot.
dying. He is definitely dying.
Can't.
You guys should already be halfway through this, and yet we're here playing in streams and going on shopping trips. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I'm
You
just
said
kidding.
Jack and the Beanstalk, and he flinched, and I was like, okay, this is good. This is a good thing. And then
No.
it wasn't.
He's dying.
What will Sapphiria think? Oh my god, what if she heard that?
Well, where is she and what is she doing and why is she not helping? Is my questions to her. So.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
same.
She's doing her own thing
Yeah.
right now.
Say
One
yeah.
day I'll share.
Wait, you're talking about Sapphiria?
Yeah.
She's trying to do something. Who's to say that she's trying to help? Who's to say that she's not trying to help? She's behind the scene.
She's peeing behind a tree right now.
Useful.
Yeah, she's so useful. Or she
Alrighty,
makes friends
friends.
with villains.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Alrighty, you all have a wonderful evening.
Everybody
Okay?
have a lovely night and a wonderful
Love you
week.
all.
Guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a
Stay
good
Bye,
night.
safe.
guys.
Miss you
Mwah.
all.
Bye.
Bye.